One of the most overlooked factors in darts is the weight of the dart. While it might seem like a matter of personal preference or comfort, the weight of your dart affects your throw more than you think, from flight path to speed, angle of entry, and ultimately, consistency. In today's Darts Decoded, we will unpack how the weight of your dart could be the hidden obstacle in your progression. But we won't stop there. We will show you how to make smarter decisions about your setup. Ready? Let's dive in. It has been proven over the years that the slightest change in the weight of your dart can be destructive. This is why we will begin with a very crucial aspect of your game: consistency in your choice of dart. Imagine yourself running in your favorite pair of shoes. Switch them out for a nearly identical pair with a slightly different sole or fit. You'll notice that suddenly, your stride feels off. This happens not because you've forgotten how to run, but because your confidence in every step took a hit. That's the hidden power of consistency and familiarity. It keeps your mind free to focus on execution, not second guessing. And in a game like darts, where margins are razor thin, this mental edge can be the true difference between winning and losing. It's not just about the physical balance of the dart, but the mental rhythm it supports. When a player is used to one dart, switching to another, even 1 gram heavier or lighter, can feel like starting from scratch. That's why consistency in equipment is so important. It removes variables and keeps the mind clear and focused. You may ask, how about legends like Phil Taylor or Peter Wright, who changed their darts? Now, here's what you may not know. While some darts legends in the game have switched darts and still performed at a high level, not every player can recalibrate that easily. What works for one champion may completely unsettle another. Success in darts, much like in life, is about finding what works for you and sticking with it long enough to build confidence and mastery. Phil Taylor changed darts a lot over the years and still achieved massive success. You may watch that and think, I can change my darts too. But the reality is this: not everyone is a 16-time world champion. So let's look at a few things about the weight of your darts that might be holding you back. But before then, if you're finding these tips helpful, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We're here to help you become the best player you can be. When we talk about dart weight, we're basically just talking about whether your dart is on the lighter or heavier side. Lighter darts usually fall between 12 to 21 grams, medium darts weigh about 22 to 25 grams, and heavier ones are around 26 grams and up. Buckle up, because we're about to show you how your dart weight really plays into your throw, and how the wrong weight might be quietly messing with your performance. Let's begin with a quick test you can take. Pick up a lighter dart of 21 gram dart with the same flights and stems, throw it, and you'll likely notice the dart hits the board at a slightly upward angle, tail pointing up. This shows the flight is doing its job, keeping the dart stable and guiding it in a smooth, balanced arc. Now try a heavier dart, like a 24 gram. With the exact same setup, you'll probably notice it enters the board flatter. That slight shift in angle tells you something important. The heavier weight is pushing harder through the air, overpowering the flight's stabilizing influence. It's a visual cue that your setup may be mismatched. The added momentum from heavier darts requires more control, and if the flight can't handle it, your dart won't land how you expect. You'll also notice a difference in consistency. With a well-matched lighter dart, your throws land at the same angle, round after round. But with something like a 26 gram dart, things start to vary. One dart lands tail up, the next is flat, another dips tail down. That variation doesn't just look messy, it throws off your grouping and accuracy, and under pressure, that inconsistency only gets worse. If you're chasing consistency, pay close attention to how your dart weight affects the angle of entry. Speed is another hidden factor. Lighter darts travel faster, naturally syncing with your rhythm and keeping your mechanics smooth. They're less demanding on your arm, and timing stays crisp. On the other hand, switching to a heavier dart even just 2 grams up, can drop your throw speed by about 15% and even more. It sounds small, but that delay affects everything: your timing, release, follow through, and even how tired your arm feels after long sessions. And here's the thing: heavier darts need more force to stay on track. If you don't adjust, they'll travel slower and land lower, which is why so many players switching to heavier setups find their darts suddenly dropping below their target. It's not a slump, it's just physics doing its thing. Still, on heavier and lighter darts, another aspect it can affect is your flight dynamics. Lighter darts glide through the air with minimal effort. The flight stays level, the point holds steady, and the dart moves cleanly toward the board. That kind of fluidity translates to better grouping and a more forgiving experience overall. But heavier darts? They challenge the flight. They force it to work harder, and not every setup is built for that. If you start noticing strange movement mid-air or unexpected landings, your dart weight might be the problem. The implication is clear: flights can only do so much. If your dart is too heavy for your chosen setup, even a perfect throw won't fly straight. This is likely one reason most professional players gravitate toward lighter darts, typically in the 20 to 22 gram range, where the flight can more easily stabilize the dart and the margin for error is smaller. There's a myth in darts that heavier darts are more stable or easier to throw straight, but real-world testing shows the opposite. As dart weight increases, consistency and control tend to suffer unless every component of your setup is specifically matched to that weight. And even then, your throw must be tailored to deliver that extra force with precision. This is not to write off heavier darts. As a matter of fact, they do have their place. Players with a slower, more deliberate throw may benefit from the added weight, as it can reduce flutter and keep the dart from veering off course. But they come with a higher demand for precision and setup, particularly flight size, stem length, and throw mechanics. If you do choose to go heavier, use this tip: scale up your flights too. A larger flight surface creates more drag and provides more stabilization, which is essential for managing the added weight. Many players who use heavier darts pair them with kite or standard flights to improve control. However, that change affects speed and trajectory again. This makes it a constant balance. So, how do you know if your current dart weight is holding you back? Start by analyzing the angle of entry. If your darts enter the board at inconsistent angles, some tail up, some flat, some tail down, that's your first red flag. But don't stop there. Observe your throw speed. If your darts are dropping low despite consistent mechanics, your setup may be too heavy. Take it a step further by watching the flight. Use slow motion video if possible to study how your dart behaves in the air. Any wobble, arc correction, or erratic motion is a sign that your weight to flight ratio is off. And here's a super important tip for you. Testing different weights is valuable, but always isolate one variable at a time. Keep your stems and flights consistent while testing barrels of different weights. And don't rely on scoring during these tests. Your aim isn't to hit the treble 20, it's to find a dart that flies straight, enters the board consistently, and complements your own natural throw. The problem, however, might not be your dart weight alone. It could be your throw. If aiming feels like a struggle, don't just keep hoping it'll get better on its own. Our Aim Like a Pro guide gives you simple, practical tips to help you aim better and throw with more control. No more going in circles. Hit the link in the description and start seeing real progress. Dart weight isn't just a personal preference. It's a technical factor that can dramatically impact your consistency, control, and performance. While heavier darts might feel satisfying in the hand, they demand more from every part of your throw and setup. Lighter darts, on the other hand, give you more room for error and allow your flights to do their job more effectively. If you're struggling with grouping, inconsistency, or darts that just don't land how you'd like, it's time to take a serious look at your setup. Your dart weight could very well be the hidden factor holding you back, so stop obsessing over where your darts land for now, and start studying how they get there. That shift in perspective might just be the breakthrough your game needs. That was Darts Decoded's video on darts weight. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. But before you go, feel free to watch the next video to discover more about the effect the weight has on your game. Thanks for watching, and remember, watch, learn, and win.